We heard in the morning, both our distinguished speakers speak about, we spoke about how AI may not change one thing, which is our humanness. We heard Shiv Khera yesterday talk about 90 minutes about character and how small, small things add up to the personality of that human being. And this topic, and Dr. Dheeraj talked about how AI can help us in telling us about why is the sky blue from grade 2 to grade 4 to grade 8 to grade 12. And as the algorithms get better and better, I'm sure that knowledge is going to get better and better, and AI is going to go get better and better. But I am a firm believer, and I said it in a panel myself, of a book by Neil Postman. It's called Amusing Ourselves to Death, in which in 1985, when television came to US, Neil Postman said, we humans have lost the plot. We are bringing AI into everything, injecting into everything, television into everything, because he talks about how Sesame Street, which was launched in 1980s, was supposedly an entertainment show, but people loved it so much that it became an education show. And he said, professors in 1985, he was a professor at Columbia. He said that professors these days are not teachers only, they are entertainers. Because if you don't entertain the crowd, the attention span goes away. And people doze off. And he's talking about in 1985 in television. He was screaming about television commercials, which are 45 seconds to 60 seconds long. And he said, then my students in the classroom also want, entertaining bits of information in those 1 minute or under 1 minute scenario. And today we are on Zomato, and we are on Instagram, we are on Reels. Unfortunately, as one of the same speakers was saying, the students cannot walk out of our classrooms. They can't zip us away. They have to deal with us. And AI may be the solution where they can zip it off. But then Neil Postman also talks about how education is also supposed to be boring. It is supposed to be hard. You have to read and write. And unfortunately, what is happening with AI, it is becoming so easy. I am a professor myself. I teach courses at the University of Jindal. So when I could teach and I give them some reading and writing, they come back with the assignments with ChatGPT. And I'll tell them, this is ChatGPT. She said, we work smart. Why should we work hard? I said, no, but you have to start working hard. Can you work smart to realize? So my fear with AI, I'm playing the devil's advocate here, and I'll open this up to all of you, is that AI will make me and my students dumber, because it is so smart and so easy that you can just click something and put it something and customize it to that extent where, it becomes obsolete for us to put in 6 hours for something that can be done in 60 seconds, right? So we do a trade-off. We all heard Dheeraj also talking about prioritizing time management. So we do time management, okay, 6 hours. Why should I waste 6 hours? I can do it in 1 minute and then show it off to the class. Navin sir, you are a leading principal yourself. Please, what are your thoughts on this subject? You can have a mic.
I'll use Aku's mic. He has been very impactful since morning. A very good morning to all of you. I am Navin Dixit. I am the Headmaster at Yadavindra Public School, Patiala. Firstly, the sky is no more blue. You ask children in Gurgaon, 8 months, it is not blue. We need to understand that ChatGPT, is just the interface. The AI is just beyond this. And AI is not come today. It's almost there for more than 60 or 70 years. When we started using generative AI and all those things, and then it happened that last 3-4 years, the interface has come as a ChatGPT. Otherwise, ChatGPT is just an application part of it. So when we talk about to be or not to be, I think we all know what it is, where it is. It comes from Hamlet. I hope we all know this. Yeah. And what does it talk about? Suffering. But I don't think Chat GPT or AI is a suffering. It is today a very, very, very important tool, and every tool can be a double-edged sword. You can use it in any manner. You can use it for your advantage. It can be used for disadvantage or any other purposes. But for me, I always feel, and I'm not talking about last 3 years. I was at Mayo College before joining Yadavindra Public School, Patiala, and remember in 2019 we started working with AI. And we have two labs over there. There's one which has recently come in when Mr. Srivalsan was there, and but before that we had started working in 2019. Uh, I'll just, Ankur, I'll get inspired from Ankur, and I'll also share one of the author what he has said. I hope you remember about Thomas Friedman.
Yeah,
Yeah, the world is flat. What did he say? He said that the world has got closer because of the technology. And today, AI is making the classroom more closer, more impactful. There's so much what we can do in classroom through AI. The lesson plan, we want to have a differentiated teaching. What about the lesson plan? I think the AI can help you over there. We have so many AI modules which are helping you to generate those differentiated lesson plan. That is just one aspect. Second is you want to have your teaching to be more impactful. Why don't you look at those reels which today you find which talk about history and all those things? You generate those sort of those sort of no reel and you show it to your children. And today the classroom are more interactive, flat panels, and everything is there, where the visuals is so strong, and we all understand how important the visuals are. So make use of AI in a manner that it helps learning to be impacted. It becomes more effective, more useful for the children. Secondly, when we talk about Chat GPT, it is not about the answers what we are finding. The question what you're putting to the Chat GPT, your answers will differ. Otherwise, you have a same question, you'll get the same answer. So you have to teach. I remember Mr. Dheeraj Malhotra talking about why and all those things. So why again becomes extremely important for a child to have. So if I ask why the sky in Gurgaon is blue, gray, I'll have a different answer. If I ask why in Patiala it is blue, I'll have a different answer. So what input you give will matter even in case of Chat GPT. Today, if you look at the medical care and all other fields, you'll find that there's so much which is happening. Yesterday, I was taking round of the university, and I found that there was so much of technology which was used over there. And if you integrate AI over there, you'll find that the life will become more important. There are disadvantages of having AI, but if you have better control, better usage, I think the AI will be something which is going to be to a great advantage. Secondly, there are a few things which we need to understand. One is AI cannot replace heart, can it?
No.
Wisdom,
No.
emotions,
No.
no. So when we talk about Bloom's taxonomy, what we are doing is ChatGPT is only helping us at first three level, maybe understanding, knowledge, and application. What about creativity and evaluation, which is a higher level of Bloom's taxonomy? So we need to look at all those aspects, and I feel that to be is more and not to be too less.
Perfect.
And that's I said.
Thank you so much. Yeah. Navin, yeah, I just remembered, Sir brought in Bloom's taxonomy. I read a book also on AI, Community Tech Talk, so I read through a lot of papers and this books. I think one of the books, उसका height थोड़ा कम करा दो सारा, on founder of Khan Academy, and he wrote a book, the AI generation, how AI is the future of education, in which the premise of using AI in the classroom is that it will solve the two sigma problem, which is the two sigma problem says that if a student gets a one-to-one attention from a teacher, his performance in the exams are above 98 percentile higher than a student who is in a classroom where we teach by mastery learning, which is conventional learning, which is a classroom, one teacher, 30 students, and then the teacher does not have attention for all 30 students, and the laggards in the classroom, maybe the 70 to 80% of the students in the class are falling behind because the teacher is not able to give their attention. But if you talk about AI, everybody will have a screen, and everybody has like a personalized tutor where we can just customize and talk about whatever you want to, and the AI will give us super smart answers. And AI does not get tired, AI does not get bored, AI does not have problems at home. AI comes through the class or wherever you want to, whatever time. So I think, but I have very, very serious reservations because I believe learning does not happen in front only in one-to-one learning. Learning happens as Saurabh sir was saying. I mean, just being at a table where you have five friends, you had a fight night before. How are you solving that problem? It's amazing. I mean, that's the way 11-year-old understands negotiation, and this is the way you will prosper in life. So I think those experiences also happen right through the classroom. Whichever classroom I teach at a university also, I find that challenging. That I ask my four students to work together. They don't know each other. They have reservations. Sir, I don't want to work with this guy. I don't want to work. I am happy with this person only. I said, but life will not be like that. When you go and work, you will have five different people to work with. So, Harshit, your thoughts. I mean, what do you want to share of this?
So, namaste everyone. So we come from a very diverse group from Maharashtra, Bengal, leading 17,500 children. And the first thing when AI was popping up, we were just wondering, what can we have? Can we have AI councils in our school? Can leading in a very different way. So I'd just like to begin with a short quote of Sir Anthony Seldon, whom I follow very wisely in his Fourth Industrial Revolution. And it's a beautiful quote that AI is going to be the Cinderella of education. Now, the thing, education is going to be the Cinderella in AI, which is of course overlooked, which is underinvested, and maybe we are largely unprepared to adopt it at the very moment. The question comes not whether the Cinderella should be going to the ball or not, but the question should be rephrased: are the adults in the room willing to teach her how to dance in the ball party? That's what we should look about with it. So AI, people saying AI going to replace teachers, this is going to come. I always say teachers who are not using AI will be replaced by teachers using AI. And the question has three aspects of what sort of AI adoption thing are we adopting at our schools. Are we AI phobic? Are we AI blind, or are we AI aware? So AI phobic is something interesting, wherein we are like an orthodox kind of a mindset that no, this is like something unethical. We would be banning using AI. This that. AI aware is just going with the trend. We are adopting ERPs, edtechs, just a wave of it. And AI aware is something wherein you are making teachers come students not just aware of the AI tools, but giving them a real picture of a tech monstership, what is coming up. Because I believe somewhere or the other, we are making our children, of course, they're present in a digital native world, but they are digital orphans, I would rather tell and quote it up in the way, because they are not guided how to use it up properly. Now, there are three propositions to it. Is AI bad or the tech integration bad? For me, you cannot label it good. For me, neither you can label it as bad. What two aspects to it, what matters is the design and the dosage of what integration you would like to implement. Each grade wise, different psychotic wise, and different thought process wise, because the dosage is very important. The recent PISA thing has showed somewhere or the other, if the devices are used moderately, they have created an index. So moderate means 1 to 5 hours of a daily digital device usage. It increased the scores for near about 149 basis points. And if they are using excessively for recreational use or any sort of thing, which is in this club of 5 to 8 hours, it reduced your scores from 249 basis points, right? So this is what the dosage aspect really matters. Coming to the design part. Many of us are aware of lot many AI tools. The CBSE is going for on-screen marking evaluations now, this and that. There are a few demos which I have taken for AI-based paper evaluation, which reads different sort of handwritings. You upload the marking scheme, this and that. But the question comes in the efficacy and the efficiency of the usage. I would just go off track and pick what Mr. Dixit mentioned for medical education, right? I had a basic observation. We were sharing across table, Ankur, in the morning today. Why medical practice is improving? Any thought on it? Medical research is implied in medical education. That is why medical practice is developing day by day. And what about our general educational research? Forget about the medical part, the non-medical, the basic pedagogical research, what people in India or the world are up to. How much as Indians are we able to adapt that pedagogical research in our pedagogical education, be it in our teacher training courses, be it in our FDPs, be it in our CPDs, whatsoever. So the main problem for us, what I see in our Indian domain at the mass or the quantity level is the lack of implementation of proper educational research in our educational practice. Be it AI, today we are speaking of AI, tomorrow it may be something else, right? Then it may be something else. So the question here is not just AI, but like Laxton has a good powerful word, learning power. Learning how to learn is something, and adapting how to adapt to technology or any XYZ is something we should focus on all about. So that's the whole idea, and the question itself, to be or not to be, it's no more a question, it has to be, right? That's what the thing is, because it's there in the students' pocket now and then, in their classwork, in their homework, in their social lives and everything, and we cannot bereave them with this facility. So the question here is, if they adopting it, what kind of tools we make our staff adapt to the technology? How are we checking that we do not become intellectual monsters? Somewhere or the other, they are over bombarded with information in today's time, right? Processing the information. It's like earlier there were no mobile phones access much. Now each of us have a mobile phone. But how many of us actually teach our children how to use the mobile phone? It's like having a mobile, but not knowing how to use it effectively. So it's having an AI, but not having that efficacy or that thought to channelize it out. So that's what the crux and the whole take is all about, that how can we at the grassroots level create working papers which is understandable, research, not hi-fi in technical words, but something implemented at the ground level. And we as sharing partners, I always say AI should not longer be as a gadget. It should be taken as an equity infrastructure. Because if you see, one of the most important infrastructures in the next 5 years, John Hall said, you cannot prepare a person for a world for which you know nothing. I am taking admission of a child in my school in 2026. That child going to graduate the high school in 2041. As educational scientists, I would say, you are predicting the map of the next 15 years of that child. So as leaders, we have a lot of onus on our shoulders, which Mr. Sinha said, that whether you work for a branded or a non-branded institution, we are under the radar, being the teachers, right? So the whole idea is, let's share something concrete on what exactly to do with not just a macro AI, but the microest way to deal with AI is something as schools we should do this. And we are working on something known as AI councils. And I think so that's going to create an impact at the grassroots level.
Thank you so much, Harshit. I have my comments, but I am running short of time. So I'll have to keep rushing. I mean, we have Pradeep Lokhande, I can already see him in the room. So let's keep moving. We have our 11 minutes here. Sheila man, over to you.
I'll take 30 seconds to first give that auto thanks thing, being the one of the last panels here. Thank you, Swati, and thank you, Ankur. And Pami, we love you a lot. Because of that girl I'm here, I would always say that. And I take pride on saying that. What a wonderful conclave, or conglomeration, actually. Thank you so much, Sinha sir. Anybody from Mayo, even if somebody says my husband is even a Mayoite, it's a pride to hear that word. Thank you so much for resonating so much about border. I was a second standard in Goa and coming out at 18. I guess every single value system being laid out in those years, not being in a privileged one in a boarding school of nuns, but whatever I am today is all because of the skills what we fought and the agility what we built up in myself or ourselves, because there were no counselors, depression counselors, or everything you had to fight. So what a wonderful keynote speaker series, and thank you so much for organizing this, because learning every time coming here, sitting it's worth leaving all the job and coming and sitting here. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. And so much of learning, and such a panel that I'm sharing with. Thank you, Srivalsan sir, for being existing. Thank you so much. Seriously, thank you so much. Humility is something what you get to learn from being just sitting next to somebody. Thank you so much. And on that note, because all the great learners and academicians are saying something bigger, I'm also compelled to say something, trying to say something bigger. So there is a statement these days which is very viral. If academicians are through, thanks to the history, for the first time ever, technology is speaking back. Has anyone heard about it? So this was told by the UNESCO Assistant Director General for Education, Stephanie, in one of her Paris keynote speaker series. She said this, thanks to the history that for the first time in history, that thanks to the technology, where technology is at least giving answers back. We had TV, whatever we wanted to counterfeit, we could never ask that. No, right now we can directly reach out to Arnab Goswami and say that, okay, come on, cut down that. I'm so sorry and no offenses, but I'm just saying that we can reach out. Live people are going across writing. So we can speak back, we get the answers back. It's definitely not a simple thing. So yes, it has to be. And again, from the same UNESCO keynote series, I would just take 3 or 4 learnings, which I would think conclude what we are discussing. She herself said these 3 things, as in deep researches are going on to figure out the digital divide. Right now, it's all about artificial intelligence divide. We in, say, 3-tier cities, 2-tier cities, and 8-tier cities are sitting and talking and discussing about all these things, wherein we ourselves know that in developing countries like ours, there are still classroom scenarios where people don't know how these things function. And to get to that notch where the villages and the school-bound areas into those village sites and all getting to know how to operate and the operational dynamics of these things, it will take some more years, and by then we will be into some other era. So this gap is going to exist. There is never an answer that okay, we can do with it or we can just take it in as it is coming. So the divide is there. It is a big, huge thing. So then there are 3 relevant questions. What are the disruptions AI is creating? What are the dilemmas out of that? And how can we work out? The disruptions in common language, we say, the disruptions, basically, the word we use, or rather we are discussing that how it is affecting, the disruptors being AI becoming a tutor by itself, AI becoming a professor by oneself, AI becoming a companion for the Gen Z and Gen Alpha. When we talk a lot about them depending upon the mobile phones, is because right now they are the companions for them. Whatever they are seeking, they are getting the answers through that. I, as a mother, is one of the most fearful one to send my daughter out after 7:30 or 8. It never used to be like that earlier, and now it is like that. So if she asks for a hangout or going with somebody outside, I may not be saying very easily yes. Then what is the next step? Then they have a cocooning. They have to go and just shut their door and be into something. So the world dynamics is changing in such a way that they need companionship and they are searching for companionship into that zone. How good it is and how bad it is something what all of you were talking about. Then the disruptor is AI as a teacher. Are we not depending upon AI too much to find out the questions and answers? I'm a Cambridge teacher. I'm a teacher, I would say. Principalship is a different thing. In classroom teaching, if you have to submit global perspective assignments of grade 10, they use Cambridge themselves use Turnitin. You know that they are using AI. You're bound to use AI before that. And we are bound to use AI. Children also know that they also will go for 3 rounds of AI corrections and checking. So where are we stopping them from submissions? How could we stop them from searching something? IB, those who are from IB schools, you know that is everything about their research and submission. How do they go with that long of a research things where we are not reading it out for them? We are coming up with compiled content. They are compelled to do the same thing. So as Sir said, yes, reading, getting into those areas and modeling it is very necessary, but it's not convenient for us also. So let's accept the fact that it has to be, 100% it has to be, but how good you model it to them and how good you define the boundaries and explain the vices to them, how gentle you are when you prototype that, is how they learn it. If you want it to be so nasty and harsh and saying, it's like AI become a stigma word right now. Too much of AI, AI, AI. Why are we even not using the statement as an artificial intelligence? The word intelligence is there associated. But we cut it short so much that AI, AI, AI. Oh, have you run it with AI? Teachers, have seen them asking to a grade 3 also, oh, this is ChatGPT. No, please don't counterfeit them. You say you use artificial intelligence, you don't use a bit of your intelligence. That statement itself matters sometimes the most because it is intelligence. The moment you say ChatGPT, it's all about generative. Thank you, Dixit sir. As you said, only a part of the community, educators community, concentrating so much into the generative content and not talking about the real intelligent content, what is being delivered to you, and having the guts to admit that, yes, I also researched a bit. I don't know UNESCO Assistant Director General Stephanie. I did my research. 2 minutes. In 2 minutes, while Dixit sir was talking, sir was talking, in 2 minutes, because I was not prepared for what to say. And in that 2 minutes, I got my content. Do I have the guts to admit it? I believe, yes, I have. I'm taking it. I'm taking it. So do children should take it, stand in front of you and admit it. Groom them to stand tall and say, ma'am, 30%, sir, 30% of my content I went into these sites and I picked it up. Am I wrong? Correct me. Or how do I rephrase it, paraphrase it? Or which tools should I use? And I should have the audacity to say, kiddo, I use SSC tools or I use this particular website. It's a safer one. Go and use it. That is how an educator's role redefines as you grow up. Or rather bluntly saying that AI is like a stigma, big stigma, we don't want to accept it. I belong to that category. I wish so many educators turn out to that category. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Another round of applause. Finally, please, sir.
How many minutes? I would use haircut. 2 minutes.
We have to close on 11.
Right. One of the advantages of speaking last is that you don't have to elaborate a lot. See, 3 to 4 years from now, if not earlier, somebody would be asking, what was this debate about? What are we discussing? So, it is not to be or not to be. I think it was Navin who said that. We have to embrace it. Okay? There's no alternative to that. Okay? And it could be a great blessing. Even as I'm speaking to you now, we are doing a pilot in my school where we have set the math papers for evaluation. Concurrently, we're also doing that here to see whether this has got an impact, what is the deviation from that normal. And then maybe 2 years from now, this would possibly become the okay. I'm not too sure, but I think going by what's happening elsewhere in the world, it might be the norm. It will ease the work of a lot of teachers, releasing them to do thinking. Now, let's look at the other part of it. There was a book or an essay written by Arundhati Roy long years back. It is called The End of Imagination. All right? I heard someone in one of those panels said, when you are dropping thinking, if thinking is taken away, if imagination is taken away from education, it becomes indoctrination. Can you imagine what will happen to people? We indoctrinate people. Let us not do that. That is, I hope we're going to be doing that is left to people. But the best part of it is, in the part of the world that I represent at this point in time, the Middle East, and more particularly in the UAE, we have regulators stepping in with AI policies. Okay, and I'm sure CBSE has something of that kind, and I'm sure schools like yours also have something like that. So we don't have to unduly worry about the negative impact of AI. See, at some point in time, we are all acts in progress. We will evolve and we will scale. And at some point in time, we'll say, this has arrived. Till something bigger comes in terms of a challenge. Thank you for this opportunity.
Thank you so much, Stacey. The honor.